Most of us grow up believing that the biggest retirement mistake you can make is simply not saving enough. We hear it everywhere. Save more, save early, maximize every contribution. It's a foundational principle, and for good reason, saving is crucial. But after nearly 2 decades working with high-income earners and disciplined savers, I've uncovered an uncomfortable truth that might surprise you. What if saving too much, or more precisely, saving in the wrong places at the wrong time, could actually sabotage your retirement? It sounds counterintuitive, I know. It's not that saving itself is bad, quite the opposite. But an imbalance in your financial strategy can become incredibly expensive, costing you more than you realize in the long run. Today, I want to walk you through 3 specific situations where that aggressive, disciplined saving we all strive for can actually work against you. We'll explore how to identify these pitfalls and, more importantly, how to fix them before they lock you into bad outcomes that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to undo later. This isn't about criticizing responsible habits. In fact, if you're the kind of person who consistently maxes out every account, avoids lifestyle creep, and always thinks long-term first, then this video is especially for you. You've built a strong foundation, and now it's time to refine it. Because here's the kicker. Oversaving doesn't typically hurt impulsive spenders. They often don't have enough to oversave. Instead, it often impacts the most responsible people, those who believe that more discipline always equals better results. But in retirement planning, that isn't always true. Let's dive into mistake number 1. Protecting the future while inadvertently exposing your present. We all understand the power of long-term investments. They need time to grow, to compound, to work their magic. But many super savers funnel every single spare dollar into these distant retirement accounts. While commendable, this approach often leaves them dangerously exposed in the short term. They might have no real emergency buffer, limited liquidity, and absolutely no margin for the unexpected twists and turns life inevitably throws our way. It's like building a magnificent castle, but forgetting to stock the pantry. And life, as we all know, always shows up. A sudden medical bill, a major home repair that can't wait, or an unexpected job disruption, these aren't just possibilities, they're realities. Without readily accessible cash on hand, what's the only option left when these events strike? Often, it's raiding those very long-term investments you worked so hard to build. And here's where it gets painful. These forced withdrawals frequently happen during market downturns when your investments are already at a low point. You're selling low, locking in losses. This isn't investing, it's forced liquidation. It's a destructive cycle that doesn't just halt compounding, it actively destroys it. You lose potential gains, and you often solidify losses that might have otherwise recovered if you could have just left the money untouched. So, the mistake here isn't saving too much overall. It's saving too much in places you can't access safely and efficiently when life demands it. Your future self will thank you for planning, but your present self also needs a safety net. The fix is simpler than you might think. Before you aggressively invest every penny for tomorrow, make absolutely sure that today is insured. Cash isn't lazy money sitting idle, it's vital protection. It's the essential buffer that keeps your long-term plan intact and prevents you from making rash decisions under pressure. Think of your emergency fund as the guardian of your long-term wealth. It allows your investments to do what they're meant to do. Grow over the long haul, undisturbed by life's inevitable curveballs. This balance between present security and future growth is paramount. Now, let's tackle mistake number 2. Investing for a potential 10% gain while simultaneously paying 25% or more to someone else in interest. This one surprises many because, On paper, it often looks perfectly logical. I'll keep investing aggressively, people say, because the market grows faster than my debt. But here's the critical insight. Math doesn't work in isolation. If you're contributing heavily to your retirement accounts, chasing market returns, while simultaneously carrying high-interest debt, especially things like credit card balances, you are guaranteeing yourself a loss, regardless of what the market does. Think about it. Credit card companies don't care what the S&P 500 is doing. Their interest compounds monthly, relentlessly, often at rates far exceeding any reasonable investment return. You are essentially pouring water into a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. Even worse, recurring high-interest debt signals a deeper, underlying issue. Your spending and income aren't truly aligned. You're living beyond your means, even if only slightly, and using debt to bridge the gap. That misalignment doesn't magically disappear in retirement. In fact, it often becomes magnified. Without a regular paycheck, even small imbalances can quickly spiral out of control. What was a manageable debt in your working years can become a crushing burden when you're living on a fixed income. So, oversaving becomes truly dangerous when it merely masks these underlying cash flow problems instead of forcing you to fix them. You feel good about your growing retirement account, but ignore the silent drain of high-interest payments, which is a far more immediate and certain loss. The fix for this mistake is a powerful one. Temporarily slow down your retirement contributions if needed. Yes, you heard that right. Pause or reduce them to aggressively eliminate that toxic, high-interest debt. This might feel counterintuitive to a disciplined saver, but it's a strategic move. Once that high-interest burden is gone, you can then rebuild your savings from a much stronger, healthier financial foundation. Sometimes, true progress and acceleration require a thorough cleanup of existing issues before you can really move forward efficiently. Prioritizing debt elimination over marginal investment gains is often the highest return financial move you can make. It's not about stopping saving. It's about optimizing the order of your financial priorities for maximum impact. This brings us to mistake number 3, where many high savers find themselves trapped without even realizing it. Building a massive nest egg with virtually no flexibility. This often happens when nearly all your retirement money lives exclusively in pre-tax accounts, like traditional IRAs and 401ks. On paper, you might feel incredibly wealthy. Your account balances look fantastic. But in reality, you can find yourself surprisingly restricted. Why? Because eventually, the IRS becomes your silent partner, waiting for their share. Once you reach a certain age, required minimum distributions, or RMDs, kick in. These force income out of your pre-tax accounts whether you actually need the money or not. This can push you into higher tax brackets, creating an unexpected tax spike later in life. What looked tax efficient in your working years, getting those deductions up front, can become tax rigid and expensive in retirement. Your planning options narrow dramatically, and moving money around to optimize your tax situation becomes incredibly costly, sometimes prohibitively so. Imagine having a vast fortune, but needing permission and paying a hefty fee every time you want to access a portion of it. That's the reality for many who solely rely on pre-tax accounts. You lose control over your income stream and consequently your tax liability. The mistake here isn't contributing to pre-tax accounts. They are valuable tools. The mistake is only contributing to them, creating an imbalance in your tax diversification. You're putting all your eggs in one tax basket, which limits your options when you need them most. The fix for this is crucial. Think in terms of tax balance, not just tax avoidance. After you've secured any employer matches in your 401k or hit comfortable contribution limits for pre-tax accounts, consider diversifying your tax buckets, Flexibility often matters more than another immediate tax deduction. Explore Roth assets, where your contributions are after tax but qualified withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free. Also, consider taxable brokerage accounts, which offer liquidity and control, even if they don't have the same tax advantages. The goal is to have multiple levers, not just one oversized lever. With a mix of pre-tax, Roth, and taxable accounts, you gain the power to strategically manage your income and tax bracket in retirement, giving you far more control and freedom. Ultimately, the real goal of retirement planning isn't just about accumulating the absolute maximum amount of savings. It's about achieving maximum control over your financial future. It's about building a plan that serves you. Retirement success is measured by how freely you can access your money when you need it, how predictably it will be taxed, and how resilient your entire plan is when life inevitably doesn't follow your exact projections. Saving aggressively without balance, without considering these crucial factors, creates fragility. It can lead to a financial house of cards that looks impressive, but can easily topple, leaving you with less freedom and more stress than you ever imagined. Here's a final thought to carry with you. Discipline is absolutely essential. It builds wealth, but strategy is what preserves it, allowing you to truly enjoy the fruits of your labor. Don't let your discipline inadvertently become a liability. If your current retirement plan feels rigid, if taxes feel like a mysterious future problem you can't quite grasp, or if every dollar is optimized for later but leaves your today feeling exposed and vulnerable, you may not be undersaving. You might in fact be saving the wrong way. It's a subtle but profound difference that can dramatically impact your quality of life in retirement. Take a moment to reflect on your own strategy. If you want help reviewing whether your saving strategy is truly working for you, not against you, I've put a link in the description below to resources that can help. Don't hesitate to seek personalized guidance. And if this video helped you think differently about your retirement planning, please let the algorithm know by giving it a like, sharing it with a friend, and subscribing for more insights. I'll see you in the next one.